It seems like rappers die like every other day or week. Like we're all like I'm starting to discover new music through people dying. Let's discuss why. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rico, the acronym, back in the sack again, and it's time for yet another Rico's Rants. Now, a couple of years ago, I did a video on drill music. It was mostly a critique of drill music, mostly my whole thing of kind of being against it, simply because it just seems like mad violent for no, like, it just seemed like it was on some other type shit. Since 2 years ago, I've listened to more and I've seen how certain artists have changed up. There's a lot of them dudes out of Chicago that have really started pushing more peace and less of the bullshit. But of course, there's always gonna be the bullshit, and it's not just Chicago. You know, it's not just Chicago, and it's not just dudes either. This rapper out of, I believe, like Oakland, this chick went viral for like making a song about her dead baby daddy or whatever. She like apparently had to kill him because he was on some domestic violence type shit, and I guess she stopped putting up with it, and she like rose to fame off of that, and then got shot. After a while, I had to think to myself, I'm like, okay, every at least every month I'm hearing about a rapper that's below the age of 26 dying violently, and I'm like, why am I always hearing about that, but I'm not hearing about, other genres having violence issues, or the drug issues that are prevalent in other genres of music or stuff like that. I'm like, why is that? And I think I got a couple of reasons why. My first and foremost reason, before I even get into any of the extra shit, is it's easier to report bullshit. And it's also easier to report bullshit when it's attached to a music genre that is attached to a people that is easy to look down on anyway, because, those black guys and all that bullshit. You already know what I'm talking about. If you don't know, get familiar. But yes, I think because it is hip hop, that's why you're going to hear more about it off the top, just because it's an easy thing to shit on. It's probably one of the youngest genres of music, as far as like major genres of music. And, it's always easy to shit on black youth. It's always easy to blame them. White youth is always like, oh, they were, coerced, or they were a lone wolf or some shit like that. So I think that has a lot to do with it. Now, getting into the nitty gritty of the shit, outside of the racism of it all, outside of that, we have to look at the technology of the day. Like, right now, I'm sitting in a room with enough equipment to produce an entire record by myself, okay? Literally just a computer, a microphone, an interface, some speakers, and a keyboard, and a guitar and a bass behind me. So, just with that alone, I have enough to record a full length album. That kind of technology and the affordability of it as well is what makes it so easy to produce really any kind of music today, especially hip hop, because with hip hop, you really don't need that many instruments. You could make you could make a whole hip hop beat album with a small keyboard and a computer with the right software. That's not to say that making hip hop is easy. I'm not saying that making good hip hop is not easy. I've watched producers put together beats that, and I'm just sitting there like, I did not hear in my head what that was going to come out like, because they did so many different things, and just watching it work, it's wild. So to those that are watching this and going, well, yeah, because it's easier to do that, go try making a hip hop beat. Go try making a good one. All right, so let's not do that. So, like I was saying, the technology being available makes it so much easier to do everything. We probably have as many rappers now as we had wannabe rappers before the technology made it so easy. When you had to go to somebody's studio and pay money, you know what I'm saying? That cut down the ability of a lot of people to actually factually become rappers. You might go in the studio one time and record a couple songs, but it doesn't mean that you released it, and even if you release it, it doesn't mean that it went anywhere. But nowadays with the internet and streaming and the easy availability of recording software and technology, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to be a mid-tier street nigga that, he getting his money out the streets. You can hit a lick for 1,500 real quick. Boom, there's your computer and your interface and your mic right there. Like it's that cheap nowadays to become a musician. With that ability, people are going to do their thing. So that's why I'm saying there's probably more rappers than there are like people trying to really sing or bands or anything like that. And that's simply because of the availability of the technology. It has nothing to do, well, I can't say it has nothing to do with the popularity of hip hop, because hip hop is one of, if not the most popular genre of music probably in the world. I'd have to look at some stuff to actually verify that. But yeah, everybody has either borrowed from it or latched on to it. So it's definitely one of those things that, yeah, everybody wants to do it. Now, of course, we also have to talk about social media, and social media making it so easy to become famous for even mediocre shit or just stuff that, in all honesty, you shouldn't be famous for. Like, people become famous for the dumbest stuff, like dancing around or like eating like really crazy foods, or like going into fucking, people become famous off of anything, man. It's really crazy. And so with the availability of social media also comes the industry behind that, which, let's be real about it, exploits a lot of artists, especially these rappers, especially the underground ones, because most of these underground rappers are, funding themselves. And they don't know where to spend money. They know how to spend money to get on blah, blah, blah's podcast or blah, blah, blah's YouTube channel or whatever, but they don't have the experience or the people around them to know that they should probably get some media training first. You know what I mean? And so you see a lot of, in all honesty, kids going on these platforms, embarrassing the hell out of themselves. And, and that's not saying that there isn't a place for up and coming people to release their music or whatever, but they get to feel more important when they can take this little money and go pay somebody to be on their YouTube channel or on their podcast, and yet again represent themselves as a rapper when they might just be like a popular kid with money. They may not even be a popular kid with money. I was an extra on a TV show one time, and there was this extremely annoying and obviously a little bit off white kid that kept on trying to show everybody his Spotify page and how he had a check mark and he had all this music up and blah, blah, blah. And we're all sitting there looking at him like, dude, anybody can get a check mark on Spotify. It's not that hard. It's not that impressive. So yet again, the availability of being able to just release stuff like that, you can look like a rapper real good now. Doesn't mean that you really deserve the title, in my opinion. But, now let's get to the real deal cause of the violence and the disrespect in some of today's hip hop. I'm not going to say all of today's hip hop. Definitely cities like Jacksonville and Chicago. I haven't heard it too much in Memphis, but I don't want to say it's not here. Atlanta, LA, like I've heard a lot of the gangster rap turn extremely disrespectful. People dissing dead people going to people's graves and shooting videos and shit. It's real out of control, and people are just going, oh, these kids are crazy nowadays, yada, yada. But let's think about the times that these kids, and really these grown-ass men now, let's think about the times they grew up in. A lot of these motherfuckers was born anywhere between 98 and like 2003, right? So these kids grew up in the pre and or post 9/11 era. That was an era of a lot of get back, because let's be real about it, from 9/11 until shit, I don't think we've even stopped, honestly. But when 9/11 happened, the one thing that was on every American's mind outside of this like false unity and patriotism bullshit we was on was figuring out who did it and getting them back. That's why we went to Iraq. That's why we went to Afghanistan. That had nothing to do with like freeing people and making people's lives over there better. We went over there for get back, yo, which is crazy because the people that did 9/11 were Saudi Arabian, but we're not even going to get into that right now. Regardless, get back was like the American ideal. That's what you did. A lot of people's fathers went over there and fought for get back. You know what I mean? And now you got get back gang. You know? That what did you expect? You know? These kids grew up in a time where human life was starting to mean less and less to people, especially with the advent of the internet. Because I don't know about y'all, I was definitely one of those rotten.com kids. So, you know, but I was also a kid that sat there and watched thousands of people die on live TV. You know what I'm saying? So my generation is not exactly exempt from this either. But these are the times these kids grew up in. These kids grew up in very, very disrespectful times. I mean, Guantanamo Bay. I forgot the name of the prison over in Afghanistan where they was abusing all the inmates and all that stuff. These kids grew up seeing that stuff on the nightly news. What did you expect them to grow up and do? Especially when, you know, let's be honest about it, those of y'all that are in the street, I've heard a lot of y'all say this, so I'm just quoting y'all on this one, but the OGs didn't do their job. A lot of them was locked up. A lot of them used the young dudes as crash dummies and everything, and now this is what we get. This is what we get. And that's, you know, that's also the disrespectful aspect of it is where you get the idea to start dissing dead people and listing your dead ops and going to their grave sites and shooting videos. I just seen this one, man, this video yesterday. I don't even know the guy's name, but they dubbed him Mr. Disrespectful, right? And this guy done did videos at people's graves with the shovel, trying to dig them back up and stuff. All types of weird shit. And of course, how did he die? 10 shots. 10 shots. Blew his ass off. Who's surprised? Not me. And you see this with a lot of these extremely disrespectful rappers. Now, that's not to say every rapper that's died has been one of these disrespectful motherfuckers. I don't think PNB Rock was like that. But FBG Duck definitely was. King Von definitely was. Fulio, rest in peace, Fulio just passed away not even a month ago. Was definitely one of those people. And with these disrespectful times and the lack of general care about human life, people are just going, oh, okay, that must be a part of hip-hop now, which it's not, and it shouldn't be considered. More drill artists have been killed than your average, everyday gangster rapper, hip-hop artist. You know what I'm saying? Even just like random, like, people that just say violent shit in their lyrics. A lot of the OG rappers that were supposed to be so gangsta, so this, so that, so thugged out, a lot of them are alive. Like, a lot of them are alive. But there's a whole generation of rappers that you could literally paint a picture. You'd be painting 100, 200 dudes. You know, Lil such and such just got killed, and Lil so and so got killed. And it's like, they didn't even have enough time to become full in their own artistry artists. These motherfuckers is like, like I said, anywhere between 18 and like 25. Such and such and so and this and this and that, dying like every other week. And, you know, I just felt the need to try to explain why that's happening so that, you know, people that see this video understand that it's not a rap thing.
Hey, Rico from the Editing Bay here. I just realized I forgot to say that it's not just a rap thing, it's actually a time thing. It's the times that these people grew up in, on top of...
It's a murder rap thing. That ain't got shit to do with any... That's not the culture. You feel what I'm saying? When people talk about the culture, that's not the culture. That's the culture of death. That's some other shit. So I don't know. I felt the need to say that, and just to kind of break it down so that we don't just look at these dudes as just savages and just horrible ass people. Like, yeah, some of them were horrible people. Some of them that are still alive are horrible people. Some of them are doing their best to change. From what I understand, Dirk is trying to change. I seen the other dude, I forgot his name, Jay something or other. He's out there preaching the peace. So I'm seeing a lot of change in the stuff too, but I'm also seeing a lot of people not get a chance to because the culture of that drill scene is just disrespect, death, disrespect, death, disrespect, death. It's not even, you know what I'm saying? It's not even like masked threats anymore. It's definite, like, we coming to get you, bro. Like the stuff that the songs released after Fulio died made no sense, and I mean less than 24 hours after this man was dead. Shit is absolutely crazy, and I mean that's really all I can say. And of course, as usual, all this is just my opinion. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all feel about all the death and everything that surrounds drill music and how it affects hip hop as a greater genre and all that other good stuff. Y'all get at me. If y'all want to cuss me out about it and tell me I'm stupid, whatever. Holla at me, man. Like, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.